things I did right in my 20s that are making my 30s so much better and so much easier. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Themba Kevin Network. I am Themba Kevin, as you know. This is our first video in I don't know, almost all year. And the reason that is because I turned 30 earlier on this year. I'm a January baby. And I've just been doing a lot of reflective work, when you turn 30, you kind of hit that life crisis where you're like, what am I doing with my life? How's it going? And that was me, right? So when I turned 30 in January, I threw like a little birthday dinner with my close friends, sort of understanding my circle, putting things together. But following that, I've just been living my best life, traveling. I was in Europe earlier, I was in Angola, I've just been doing a lot of traveling, spending time with family, going out partying. But this is because I was like, okay, cool. We're done with my 20s. Let's reflect. And right now, we're about to reflect together on my 20s. There are a lot of things I did wrong in my 20s, but there's also a lot of things I did right. So this video, as you saw in the title, is 3 things that I think I did very right in my 20s. Obviously, you've heard all the advice. When you're 20, study as much as you can, study as hard as you can. If you have a passion, follow that passion. You've heard all as much as you can. You still have time. You can make mistakes. If you have a business idea, start your business, make all the mistakes you can. That is very true. That is very valid. But that's not what I'm going to be going into right now, because you've heard those things before. They're very right. We all kind of understand. What I'm going to go into right now in this video is things that I did right, that are sort of things I did right in my 20s that are making my 30s so much better and so much easier. And the first thing that I did right in my 20s, right, is to look good. Invest in looking good. So when you're in your 20s, you're at the peak of your powers in terms of like physical fitness, gym, this and that. And looking good is so important because it's a confidence booster, right? If you're not confident in your 20s, it's very difficult to be confident in your 30s unless you get a bunch of money or like you're in a great job, But to build natural confidence in your 20s, the easiest thing to do is to look good, invest in your physical fitness, go to the gym. When I was in my 20s, right, I love fashion, but because I couldn't afford some of the stuff I wear today, I wasn't wearing Gucci, I was wearing Balenciaga. And even in your 30s, I don't advise you to do that if it's like all your money. But I'm just saying, when you're in your 30s, you can pull a few more levers, you make a bit more money. But when you're in your 20s, right, looking good is the most important thing you can do for your confidence. Girls will be checking you out. Guys will be envious of you, which is basically what you want to live like in your 30s, right? During my 20s, we didn't even wear shirts. We would go out to parties in sling tops, just the sling top showing your chest, showing your abs, and we enjoyed it. We saved a lot of money, we got attention, and it was quite fun. But you realize that it builds your confidence so much, and you kind of need it to go into your 30s. Build that confidence, look good. When you're in your 30s, like I said, you can buy expensive clothes, you can wear a good watch, you can, put on good cologne. All of those things kind of work the same way. But I don't think there's anything that replaces being physically fit, and also, it's very good when you make love because you are quite in shape. You can pick up girls, throw them all around the place. So invest in your physical fitness. That is the first thing I would advise you to focus on in your 20s. The second thing I'd advise you to focus on in your 20s, which worked very well for me, is investing in your network. I did a lot of investing in my network in my 20s. Some of it subconsciously, some of it very consciously. The first thing I did is that when I was at Wits, I understood that, or I didn't even understand back then, but I understand now that I was very blessed to have a natural, strong network around me. I was at a university where people were studying difficult courses. I was doing engineering. My wife now is a doctor. I met her at Wits with little to no effort of meeting her, but a lot of effort of getting to date her. My friends are all engineers. I have a lot of friends that are engineers, accountants. I met those people with little to no effort. But what I'm proud of is not that. It's the people I've met outside of school, right, that are doing great things. And the way I got to do that is that at first I had a choice. Go to the gym at Wits, which is like 100 Rand a year, like 200 Rand a year or something like that. or go with my little brother to a Virgin Active outside of gym, which is like 250 300 rand a month. You might think obvious choice, go to the cheaper one, you're a student, you need the money. But no, going to Virgin Active, which at that time was so well located in Oakland Park, which is where the SABC studios are, and literally at that Virgin Active as a young kid coming from Tsanin, watching TV, being so far from where the lights are, you get to meet like anybody like you can think of, anybody that's on TV, anybody that's a celebrity. You meet them, it's organic, you're in the gym with them, you build natural relationships, those relationships become part of your network and you can leverage them for the rest of your life. That's what happened to me, to a point where I think some of my friends, one of my friends was like, hey, do you play soccer? I was like, yeah. It's like, yo, come play soccer with us. I get there. It's like, oh yeah, Casper Nyovest is getting ready for Philip Orlando Stadium, so we'll be playing soccer for the next like whatever few months together. That few months turned into like 3 years, built a friendship with Casper Nyovest, built a friendship with some of the other guys. But that was through putting yourself out there, investing in a little extra. In this case, was like 300 rand for a gym membership. And the most important thing, to circle back to gym, if you like go to a gym with people that earn a bit more than you, or like if you go to a gym that's more expensive than you can afford, that means you are gymming and training with people that earn a bit more than you, which means you're exposed to different ways of making money. The return of that investment is tenfold. I've seen it in my own life. What I also do is that I invested in restaurants. Instead of eating my Nando's for like 50 rand, I'd like take 150 on a Thursday and a Friday, go to a restaurant. At that time it was much cheaper. Go to a restaurant, meet people. In fact, as students, what I'd advise you guys to do, instead of even going out with your friends every weekend and wasting that 300 rand, 500 rand, save that money, God, once a month, pick a few students that you resonate with that are similarly ambitious, and go out to an expensive restaurant or go out to the club, pop a bottle, make sure it's a bottle that girls also drink, so that when you meet a girl that you like, you don't have to pop her another bottle which now you can't afford. Pop a bottle of like Henny, girls drink Henny nowadays, or gin back in the day, vodka's kind of out of fashion. But make sure you make conscious decisions to be around people that are out of your league in your 20s, or just doing better than you, or are older than you. It will do you a world of good in the long run, which is how, for me, I built most of my network today. People that I still leverage every day, different fields, different markets. Some are in fitness, some are in media, my engineering friends, some are in business. All these friends were built outside my university, or like, yeah, outside school. Yeah, so the third thing that I think I did right in my 20s that's setting me up for my 30s that I think everybody needs to do, we can't escape it. The world is very digital. There are so many bad things about social media, but there are also quite a few good things. One good thing for me about social media is that through Instagram, for me specifically, I got to express the things I liked, which at the time were gym or fashion. And I got to meet online so many people that had similar interests and build real relationships, to a point that we would meet in person and we were friends without ever having met, which was crazy, right? And a lot of people have had similar experiences. Some people have like reached out for jobs via the DM, like built real connections. And for me, like I said, it was Instagram and also YouTube. I've been doing YouTube with my girlfriend, who was my wife now, since like 2017. I've done the Not So Daily shows. You guys know I've done the platform. I've made a lot of business connections. In fact, through the platform, if you watch it, I'll link it down below. The episode we did with Mbali Sambo of Polar Bricks, he got to link up with Casper Nyovest, who reached out to him. Like, I saw in Kev's page, tell me a bit more about this business. They are good friends today. And it's just generally documenting your journey in your 20s. You look the best in your 20s. You are the most driven in your 20s. And having all of that online just reminds you, as you get into your 30s, what the original vision was, you know, what you're trying to accomplish, how good you looked, and basically how just to stay, you know, stay grinding, stay hungry. So for me, those are the three things that I think I did right in my 20s that I think every guy in his 20s should be doing to set themselves up for their 30s. You know, invest in your physical shape. Look good wherever you go. Dude, look fucking good wherever you go. That builds your confidence. 2, invest in your network. Invest in building a network. Spend that extra money, it's 200 rand, 300 rand, to be with people that are out of your league, people that are older, people that are doing different things, think different. Don't be with your classmates all the time. Invest in expanding your network. Number 3, build some sort of social or digital presence. Your dreams in your 20s are usually where you reach your practicality. You know what you're passionate about, you know what's achievable in the world. Document it, reach out, build your LinkedIn. If you have jokes, if you're a Twitter type of guy, build your Twitter presence, build your social media presence, build your Instagram presence, whatever that is for you. That will link you to like an international or like a wider audience that you can reach. Those are the 3 things. But I'm not going to leave you there. I'm going to give you a 4th one, a bonus one. And the bonus one is read as much as you freaking can. I got into this quite late in my life, but I was sleeping on myself. Yo, guys, reading really unlocks. Wow. Like on my Audible right now, I happily pay Audible. It's more expensive than Netflix, but it gets me so much knowledge. When you are in these circles, when you are at the gym with guys that earn twice as you, when you are in a restaurant with a girl that has dated a guy that is like that can cry, like earns more than your parents, earns more than whoever you know, the only thing that carries you through those conversations are these books from experts that have achieved even more than these guys. You can learn politics from Mandela and be chilling with Julius Malema and have something to say. You can learn business from the best of the best. You know, you can read the 4-Hour Work Week. You can read all these books. You can build your habits. Like you can read Atomic Habits. Like all these books. For me, you know, The Way of the Superior Man that's influenced my dating life. All these things are accessible through books. So that's the bonus one. Perhaps even maybe the most important one. Read as many books as you can in your 20s. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share your comments, and I am back on YouTube, guys. I can't wait. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep improving. Let's make those conscious decisions, you know, to improve ourselves. Whether you're in your 20s, in your 30s. If you're in your 30s now, it's not too late. Let's get it done.